Hello, we are ready for episode 2. And this one is about socialism versus, in this case, we're using the word conservatism, conservatives. And we're going to talk about maybe how the Democratic Party has been labeled socialist or has been associated with the term socialist, and how the Republicans are also synonymous with the term conservatives. So we'll start off with just some easy Google definitions. Conservatism is commitment to traditional values and ideas with opposition to change or innovation. The holding of political views that favor free enterprise, private ownership, and socially traditional ideas. Well, that really does describe the Republican Party. I'm not sure about the reluctance to innovation. I'm not really sure what you would call a political innovation. But certainly trying to keep things steady, traditional, and a lot of people find value in that because life changes so quickly all the time. They really want to keep things the same. They want to live life, they want to share life with their children, share the similar life they had. They don't want to feel like what they say is wrong because the norms have changed so quickly. Let's take a look at socialism, a political or economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production and distribution and the exchange should be owned or at the very least regulated by the community as a whole. Or in other situations, the government, right? The government is either owning or controlling trade and regulations. Certainly at times it would seem like that's a great thing, right? Companies are doing bad things, they're hurting people, they're hurting the environment. We want the government to have the power to step in and help. And financial systems, every time the government steps in and does a bailout, that is a huge socialist involvement. Surprisingly, both the Republicans and Democrats try to take credit for bailouts, almost like it was like a good thing. That's really a strange topic, and we'll have to delve into that at a later time. But they all, like, the Republicans want to say they supported those private businesses, they helped them survive, and then the Democrats want to say that that socialist part of this society was successful for everybody. I beg to differ. I mean, is it really that hard or that bad if some systems fail? And is it really that hard to simply give a temporary loan instead of a permanent bailout? I mean, why aren't these companies now paying back the government for the bailouts they had in the past, or did they? I mean, it becomes confusing, so we'll have to look at some specific situations, past evidence from both the auto industry, the banking industry, and technology from 2020, and I guess technology again now. We'll see. I mean, we have to wait for it to drop, but it certainly is going to drop. I mean, the valuations are silly, right? But we'll see how long that takes. Could be a couple of years. We'll see. So, getting back to our original question of maybe which one is better or what are the best parts of both, we certainly talked about some of the ideals and how they could be positive. The fear of socialism is that people will lose motivation, there won't be this struggle to live. People will just wait to be given what the government gives them, and whether you work hard or you take risk, it really doesn't matter because you're not in control. There's not this privately run possibility of business. There's much less possibility of private wealth. That scares a lot of people, and they want to have more private business. They think that there's more unique opportunities. They think it helps establish and keep past cultures and traditions. Whereas conservatism, a negative there would be that times have changed, people have changed, beliefs have changed, and that that system can't keep up with change. But it could also be that, you know, people in private industries that fail due to these natural disasters, due to unforeseen circumstances, in a true, I would think, in a true conservatism government, minimal government, right? I would like to think that Republicans stand for states' rights more than federal government, push in state government and local government power and responsibility above the need for a federal government and federal regulation and guides, right? I would like to think that if something were to happen with small business, they would say, we don't need to step in, the community can help them, the local government can help them, the state government can help them. Only if it's a really huge deal should the federal government be passing legislation and coming in and helping people after a disaster or an unforeseen circumstance. I feel like there's something that would work. I feel like there's some kind of a future that could include both, you know. And I mean, the magic of America is that it really does. It keeps, you know, it's on this pendulum that swings back and forth from the left and to the right. And of course, the left is probably the opposite for you if you're watching, but the left is socialism or Democratic Party at the moment, and swinging to the right is conservatism or less government involvement and more private industry growth. And as long as it continues to swing back and forth, the average is in the middle, and we really are right down the middle. I mean, well, what if we were 100% socialist? What if this country was completely socialist, the government owned everything, and everything was equal for everybody? I mean, there's so much wealth, there's so much food, there's so much of everything. Would that possibly be good? I mean, would that possibly give dignity to everyone? Would that possibly give opportunity equally to everyone? And what if we were 100% conservative? There was almost no government regulation whatsoever. You didn't have to pay almost any taxes. You just kept your money and you donated to the charities of your choosing, or you just helped people because you had extra money. In theory, that's what would happen. I'm kind of against this idea of tax-free religious organizations, because a lot of time they become like the charitable organization, and a lot of times they help people in exchange for maybe not forcing their views on them, but subjecting them to their views. I'm not a fan of that. I think if you're going to have, you know, you try to sell someone on something, you should be paying your taxes as well. If they really want to help, they can, but maybe that part of their religion should be kept separate from the preaching part. All right, that's already 8 minutes in, and that was just our opening discussion on this topic. We'll try to get some specific events in the past to discuss, and we'll start to paint this picture for the future soon. Thanks for watching.